Okay, so it's happened once again. You put down your camera, you put down your paintbrushes, or you put down your guitar, and it's been days, weeks, months, possibly even years since you've felt that creative spark to make something. But you do know one thing is for sure, is you want to get that creative drive back. I'm talking about creative block, or art block, or a creative rut, aka the big rut. Simply, it is a period of time where a creative has lost access to their creative drive. And by the end of this video, I'm determined to help you find that creative spark. I get asked all the time, how come I never run out of ideas? Well, my secret lies deep within this pile of books, but it's not the typical advice you've heard, and it's not what you think. While I go through this stack of sketchbooks, maybe I can tell you a few things that'll help you before you have to resort to what works for me. First and foremost, you may be experiencing exhaustion, either physically or mentally. Get some rest, go outside, and don't feel guilty about taking the day off. Take a break from social media or limit your access if you think that might help. Great works come from simply experiencing life. You could make a schedule for your creativity. If you dedicate a certain schedule to this craft, it's almost guaranteed that your body will anticipate this creative block of time. Another tip I learned was to get dressed. If you work from home, you will slack if you don't create some sort of discipline for yourself. And these things also remind the body that it's time to create. Not just live and let live, but live and help live. A man's dreams are an index to his greatness. What's hidden in an empty box? How about another fortune? Secondfortune.com. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why ships are built. He can who thinks he can, and he can't who thinks he can't. This is an indisputable law. Go take a rest. You deserve it. And changing your environment can also be very helpful. You can move your workspace or clean it up a bit, or much like taking a break, you could take your notepad to the park or something. This stuff's a little bit before high school. That's a big old poster of Gohan Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I started trying to draw a lot of anime back in the day when I was probably like 8 to 10 years old, maybe 8 to 12. That's Hamtaro. I used to love that show. Yeah, I had a Neopets account when I was 8 years old. I copied that. I know I did. That's another one. I think I did it twice. Copying and studying is a good way to work on your own stuff. Kingdom Hearts. You're gonna see a lot of Jargon in this book. Metallica Kill 'Em All album. I really liked a lot of text and stuff back in the day, so maybe I was destined to add some graphic design to my artwork. God, yeah, I'll probably edit that out. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. There's a lot of text in this book. That one's sweet. That's some of my homework. World history from 2008. This sweet comic book. Yeah, I'll have to censor some of that out. Can't see that part. Or that part. You can't see that. That's a weird story that our English teacher told us about his neighbors killing a bunch of puppies in a bag, basically. Jack Skellington, the emo kid. Algebra, 2008. Love that sketch. Here's a good one. Made that in art class. I used to love that show. I drew one of our friends' dads playing drums while smoking a joint. A couple years later, I would eventually put this on a grip tape, painted it on with a bunch of paint markers, like a lot of ink. That might be controversial, I don't know. Pretty rad. Yeah, I used to draw a lot of emo stuff and a lot of zombies. Jarred way and a lot more gore at this point. I think there's some zombies and stuff in here. The classics. You gotta study up on what you like. And of course you can study the greats and do research, or go to the museum where you can actually study in a physical space. The real ones will remember these bad boys. Let's see if we can move the light a little bit. Don Hertzfeld's rejected cartoons. Bunch of reference images. Gotta have the references. Studying hands. Studying Spider-Mans. I never actually watched that show. I just wanted to draw some anime. Final Fantasy. I did play Final Fantasy. Yeah. There we go. Here's Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Oh, I drew a lot of Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. This was a skate team that me and my friends made called Oh Hazard. Victims of Society. Yeah, we were victims alright at 16 years old, man. Shoot. Society was holding us down. We were the real ones. More Jarred way. And these are redraws of things I found online too. Like, I didn't come up with these concepts. This was one of the Umbrella Academy covers. I don't know if you guys remember this stuff. Ooh, there's a good one. Kiss your nerves goodbye. More Sweeney Todd. I was a kid at our school, eating hot dogs. Now that one's pretty tight. That one's really good. More Umbrella Academy. Drawing with white colored pencil on negative space, so you draw all the negatives instead of the black paper, and that creates the shape for you. This is a challenge where you have to draw it upside down, and that actually looks really good like the original picture, and in general I think it kind of looks like Jeff Goldblum. I think these are out of some of those old books like How to Draw Cartoons. You'll see a lot of these kinds of things. These are all marker tests where I'm just testing out new stuff that I have for a different project. That's what I drew this for. I'll warn you, that's a butt. These are all butts. I don't know about the rules here, but it's just a mountain butt. These are concepts that me and a friend came up with for a coloring book. Bread with butt. That was one of his drawings. Frogs with butts. This is the name of it. Camp Butt Camp. I might go ahead and still try to do this. One of the camp counselors. Or the coach. Coach Butts. There's a pencil with butts, cigarette butts, turtle butts. He drew a good bit of these ones. Jason Voorhees butt. We're trying to come up with the design of like, how does a butt be a character, you know? Albert Einstein as a butt. Look at this thing. Good old collage. Used to make you do those back in high school. Got Bruce Willis. Pastels. You gotta change up the medium sometimes. Okay, and this looks like about the time I actually got out of high school, because this is plans for an art table. It's a really elaborate cardboard feature with all kinds of stuff on it. A lot of imagination. Little character I came up with there. Some logo designs and concepts for making my brother's comic store logo. Some Bill Murray concepts for a painting I did. I always go ahead and test out all my equipment. These were some character designs for a comic book I got hired for that never came to fruition. Practicing perspectives. Yeah, you can tell after high school I started really getting into trying to understand what makes some good drawings. I got into a lot of comic book type stuff, so I was gonna do everything I could to make them good. A bunch of concepts drawings of Reggie Watts. That was for a painting I did. I think that's a rough painting of it. This was a concept that became a full print at my brother's comic book store. One of the concepts. I don't know why I did it on transfer paper. Don't steal these. Half-finished drawings. Yeah, these were definitely ideas for making a cardboard sculpture. Involved a clock and a coffee cup and all this stuff about coffee is Coffee tastes like what you put in it or something like that. Life is like coffee. It tastes like what you put in it. Shipwrecked, we were trying to design a opposites kind of effect, like he's worried and anxious. Then this one's kind of mellow and easygoing. More of the coffee concept here. Let's assume you've taken care of those things and you're in a comfortable place to create now. I'm going to list a few more things to help you create the motivation you need. Art prompts are all over the internet. A very popular one for the month of October is Inktober, where you are given a subject to draw each day. They range from all sorts of themes to complete randomness. Which brings us to things like character generators, which you can find by searching Google. And they'll spit out random generated bios or descriptions for all sorts of wacky characters and creatures. If those aren't your forte, maybe you need to try a new medium. If you are an artist, this means going from digital art to trying painting. If you're a writer, instead of writing fiction, you could try out poetry. Musicians often experiment in different genres of music, and this usually leads to some memorable discoveries. Even further, you could try a new creative activity. Going outside your comfort zone is a good way to get your creative drive to kick in. If you have the creative urge, chances are you will find something that you like and are good at in most creative fields. When you start to explore other skills, you'll often find information that could cross into other crafts. I found that I'm pretty good at framing scenes, and that's probably from painting so many pictures. Working in film, I also learned how to make better art videos and incorporate animation. You don't need to be perfect, trying is the main point. I've been fortunate to collaborate with some great creative people, and it can be a really fun challenge to see what you can do with someone else involved. Write down all of your ideas. I write down all kinds of ideas for stories, books, videos, movies, paintings, digital pieces, products. I can't help it. These topics, subjects, or themes, they come back in one way or another. Whether it's a full idea or just a conversation you overheard that you can incorporate into your writing, just jot it down and hopefully your handwriting is better than mine. Now, if you still haven't had that spark from any of these tips, here's what works for me. These sketchbooks we've been flipping through are helpful. Sketchbooking is a good way to workshop your ideas, no matter how serious or silly. But for me, this pile is a goldmine of every idea that I will ever need for the rest of my life. When you're young, you have such a vast imagination, so many emotions. The curiosity is bizarre and relatable all at the same time. In this pile are ideas not yet jaded by everything I know now. I know everyone's childhood and past is going to look different than this, but your past work is who you are. The child within, whether it's scared, sad, happy, that is who you are, and that is going to scream through your work. And of course, I still add to this pile to this day. I'm essentially siphoning my creativity from my past and continuing to add to my works like a never-ending cycle. I have yet to run out of ideas, and I'm very lucky. Sometimes I even redo a sketch into a painting, and then I turn that painting into a wearable sculpture. Then I turn that into a photo, and then the remnants of that old college project becomes the opening sequence for my documentary, which is fueled by the story of my life. Dig out those old drawings, listen to your old music, read your old writing, get out some toys and connect with who you were before things like social media and bills. Tap into your own endless creativity hack and let me know in the comments if you have any tips. Stay creative, folks.
Oh, dude, that beautiful detail.
DIY, brother. Woo! Makes it look even better.